All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business today. Gonna see if it's Google search, local and city Google search, has BSS, yes or no. So we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More about that, pinned video, pinned post, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our white FSIC graph here down below. On the left side, we get the highest intent peeps, people searching, for boudoir photography, shoot in their city right now. They're searching on Google, they're searching on social media. We care about getting in front of these peeps, so we're talking about BSS here in all these videos. And over on the right, we got the lowest intent peeps. Talk about those, our sister channel, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. We're talking about BLCS, and we're currently over there only working with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. Now, BSS, boudoir search sameness, that's when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google. 0 slots is terrible. That means we're on page 2 or deeper, and we already have the data. We already know. Approximately 80% of Google searches never, ever even hit page 2. They're page 1 and done searches. So if we're got 0 slots, page 1 is visible to approximately 80% of the market, aka the bulk of the market. If we go 1 slot on page 1, that's not good either. Everyone else on page 1 will get at least 1 slot as well. So we're blending in, we're invisible. And guess what? Guess what a boudoir buyer is going to do? They're going to be clicking, everyone's link going down. Well, at least approximately 80% of the buyers will be doing that, clicking everyone's link going down, stay on page 1 only. So we're only going to be compared to the peeps on page 1. And they're going to be filling out everyone's contact form, getting pricing, comparing pricing, blah, 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 blah. Destroying our margins, negotiating, wasting our time. We're probably only going to get like 10% of contact form fill outs to, convert with us. And 0 1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. So it's common, it's accepted, but to have such a few number of page 1 links, it's not normal. Those 2 deeper root causes are 1, market saturation, and 2, the false belief of page 1 equality. Market saturation, basically everyone knows about this. People get new gear, new iPhone, new camera, and then they're posting up their Google My Business profile, saying they now shoot boudoir. They got their website saying they're now boudoir photographer. They're posting the mom groups, saying they now shoot boudoir photo shoots. And so it's, more boudoir photographers, more sellers for the same number of buyers, which means prices come down across the board, makes it harder for every other boudoir photographer to operate. Now, second, the false belief of page 1 equality. This is a new one. Most boudoir photographers don't even know about this one, but this is kind of the automatic acceptance or belief that, a boudoir photographer with their website, gets at least 0 or, gets 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google. And that's kind of basically auto accepted, the same for everyone. And so if someone was, page 1 slot 10, then some market saturation happened and they went down to, page 2 slot 2. And it's like, oh, well, that's the game, that's how it is. And they're thinking, okay, hopefully Google, hopefully those people delete their websites and Google de-indexes them. So maybe Google will bring us back up onto page 1. But this is 100% the wrong mindset, the incorrect mindset, because what we have learned through testing is that Google actually gives us as many page 1 slots as possible as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search in only 10 days using this new methodology we discovered. Now, yeah, so that's false belief, page 1 equality. This is actually the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses because it kind of resigns the boudoir photographer to take no action because people didn't know they can take as many page 1 slots in Google as they wanted. We also know that boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. So remember, BSS, boudoir search sameness, having 0 1 slots page 1 on Google. So if a boudoir photographer has BSS, they got 0 1 slots page 1 on Google, that means they're disappearing fast if they're page 2 or deeper, or they're disappearing slowly if they do got 1 slot on page 1 because they're still essentially invisible, not standing out at all. And if they're disappearing boudoir photographer, that's the the warning light, the red flag, the flashing warning, the canary in the coal mine telling them, hey, your boudoir photography business itself is on the path to disappearing here. But thankfully, we now have a solution because we have discovered that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And we know this because we discovered this. This is exactly what I used to go from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google in only 10 days. And it works exactly as the name says, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, so we show up there when peeps search those on social media. And it serves two functions. Second function is kind of, it's acting like snow up at the top of the Andes Mountains down there in South America on the eastern side, the backside of those mountains. When that snow melts, which is melting all the time, the water drains into, melts into small streams, small rivers, and eventually it all collects into the large Amazon River. The large Amazon River is Google page one search, but it all flows, it all starts with the inputs of SQ methodology, saturating social search to enable us to saturate Google page one search. An interesting thing about SQ methodology, it's the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can enable a boudoir photography business to actually still grow in the face of growing and increasing market saturation over time, and give them this opportunity in a relatively quick time frame. The only other option for this would be kind of get this benefit would be to have a large, well-known brand to fight back against market saturation, but that doesn't satisfy the relatively quickly criteria because having a well-known brand, dude, that takes like 5 to 10 years. We ain't got 5 to 10 years, dude. AI's here taking people's jobs. We don't have the time anymore. We need, a chance at much faster results. And actually, with my estimates, SQ methodology can speed up actually creating a large, well-known brand by approximately 8x faster than all the normal methods because we're actually going to be seeing way more higher volume across many more surfaces and in many more searches. So that's where the approximately 8x faster estimate comes from. All right, so an example of SQ methodology. Right now, I'm deciding that we're going to Dallas, Texas, and there are 1 million boudoir photographers there. And we are one of them. Everyone has a boudoir photography website. And as a result, everyone's trying to super competitive, rank page one on Google, ultra competitive. We're realizing like, man, we ain't got no large, well-known brand. So, our only solution to compete here is to, crank up S cubed methodology to the max. And so we do that, and we literally get shown in the first 300 slots social search for highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city. Those flow onto Google. Let's say we also get, first 300 slots page one, or first 300 slots Google search. And it's 10 organic slots per page Google search. So we're taking out basically the first 30 pages. And so basically anywhere boudoir buyer looks, they got to scroll like, basically 301 slots to find basically find over our competitors, and that'd be, page 31 on Google. And as a result, since we're basically the only like they can find, then whose business is growing in this scenario? Most likely ours. Whose businesses are, slowing down, disappearing, going extinct? Most likely our 999,999 boudoir photographer competitor businesses. And so this is kind of a extreme example of what SQ methodology could enable at like the most extreme end for a boudoir photography business. Now, once you're with SQ methodology, we have page one visibility. Initial benefit, yeah, we get more slots page one Google search, and every time we get a new page one Google search, we get the second benefit is we're kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. So actually, through our effort, we can decide how many of our competitors in our area, in our city, are relegated to page two or deeper. And since we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page two, effectively make them invisible to the approximately 80% of the marketplace, so the bulk of the marketplace, and put their business on the path to disappearing. Now, page one visibility activates Boudoir search visibility for us. This is where the GBC universe actually recommends having a minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one Google search. That's a minimum, not a maximum. That's because basically everyone else on page one Google search will have 1 slot. So if we got 3, we're dominating them right away. And the ultra rare case, someone has 2 slots, well, our 3 slots is dominating them as well. So we want to hit 3 out of 10 minimum for all the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. We also know that boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So we got our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness has 0, 1 slots page one Google search. This is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. That's fine. We now have the solution S cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, y'all. Now my results utilizing this technology. So I want to dominate page one Google search for this keyword, BLCS boudoir. And so I went to work purely using S cubed methodology and let's see my results. Got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So in 10 days, I went from 0 out of 10 slots page one Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page one Google search, purely utilizing S cubed methodology. And now to the main event here. Going to see if this boudoir photography business has, we're going to see if it has BSS for its one lone Google search here. Looks like we combined local and city. Search for this one. All right. So here we go. Goshen, Indiana. All right, they got 1 slot, 2 slots. All right, 2 out of 10 slots. All right. So BSS is not present, but they did not hit the recommended minimum of the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 Google page one slots. But hey, at least I don't have BSS. That's kind of the first thing we got to solve. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've done your local searches, your city searches for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your areas, and you're saying you have BSS for at least one of those searches, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one of Google search for at least one of those searches, and you've accepted that the false belief of page one equality is exactly that, a false belief, and Google actually will give us and wants to give us as many page one slots on Google as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And you've been looking for something like SQ methodology. SQ methodology is your one path forward that you can see that'll actually help you, get all these slots. And you like the initial benefits, more slots page one Google search, and you really like kicking your competing with photographers off page one Google search, effectively making them invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. You like those. You also understand the market saturation. Yeah, more peeps become with photographers over time. Okay, yeah, who doesn't know that? But you're thinking ahead and you're being like, man, AI is taking more and more peeps jobs. Last time that happened, COVID, and people lost their jobs, but people still had to earn money. So everyone's got a high-powered smartphone, ultra-powered camera. So tons of peeps became boudoir photographers then. So you're like, oh no, there's actually going to be more and more and more boudoir photographers entering the marketplace because they lost their jobs, still got to earn money. Way above and on top of the people that are simply naturally are upgrading their gear. So you're actually realizing, man, I actually got to fortify my position on page one, and I have like so many page one links that Google is ranking me for on page one that Google actually runs out and starts putting my page one worthy links to force them to start filling out page 2, 3, and 4. And you need to fortify because you actually got to keep current competing boudoir photographers from ever ranking page one Google search, and as also any new boudoir photographers that come in losing their job due to AI, remember ranking page one Google search. So you got to fortify your position like fortifying those levees down in Nolens, Louisiana. And So you're liking that future benefit, kind of fortification. You want to achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility, because you need these things on your way to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. You also understand execute and SQ methodology correctly every single day. We're actually throwing up basically creating invisible thematic keyword columns in our brand, kind of attached, plugged into our brand. And as a result, we're building up this like massive backend AI keyword mindshare with all these high intent Boudoir buyer keywords plugged into our brand. So every new day we execute this, we get the benefits of higher probability being recommended here, AI overview right at the top, most premium organic placement on Google search or any search, whoever's using Bing search out there, and also increasing the probability that AI apps recommend us in parallel. ChatGPT search, Claude search, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, they all run on the same backend thematic keyword kind of mindshare system, where it's looking at repetition, relevance, age, authority with all these different keywords. And that AI search is, it's getting larger and larger, more and more and more every single day. And so, like in those feature benefits, and actually last time I did AI search with the photographers in the city, it was a ChatGPT, and dude, it returned me 3. When I did a manual search, Google search, manual Facebook search, I found like 60. So it's like, man, we gotta get these slots any way possible. And you're seeing SQ methodology is the only thing that kind of enables the speedy creation of these invisible thematic keyword columns compared to any other solution out there. You also like the future benefit, building a large, well-known brand, approximately 8x faster than normal methods, or methods everyone else is using, because we're doing much higher volume across many more surfaces. And you also understand that since my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city, you also like that you have a chance to get all these benefits and prevent all your competitors from getting these benefits. So you can actually build up a massive backlog of page one worthy links ahead of your competitors, and build up massive backend AI keyword mindshare, again, ahead of all your competitors. Basically make a big gap between all your current competitors and future competitors as AI takes their job, and kind of in preparation for that. And well, I mean, it's already happening already. And because of that, you decided to be first mover in your city, adopt this technology, be the first one so you can box everyone else out, because you understand the converse is if one of your competing boudoir photographers in your city signs on with me to use this first, then you're actually going to be, well, in order for you to compete, you're going to have to increase, or actually for first, you'd have to rederive SQ methodology for yourself. Well, actually derive it for the first time for yourself. And you would never actually be 100% confident you've derived it correctly, because we're the ones that invented it. And as a result of that, you'd be, you then have to equal our execution every single day in order to, and that would happen after that is you would maintain the gap that we currently have ahead of you, me and your competitor. So to make any headway, you'd actually have to double or triple our execution every single day. And in order for you to do that, well, you still wouldn't be even 100% confident executing this strategy, because you wouldn't be 100% confident you've correctly derived SQ methodology in the first place. And you'd be looking at all this and be like, dude, who's got 80 hours per day to do all this stuff? And so you realize all that, and you decide, oh, screw that. You're simply going to be the first mover in your city, because this opportunity is too good to pass up. And so if that's you, shoot us a DM. Hospital is currently closed for new patient intake, so even if you want to work with us, you cannot. But when the hospital does open for new patient intake, shoot us a DM, and we will see if you qualify for utilizing our S-cubed methodology.